Hey, all my crafty friends. I am coming to you with a edited replay of my live from last night. I do plan on going live every Monday night, hopefully, from here to the end of October, and then again, hopefully in December. Maybe we'll even keep it going in November and just do some crafty things because I've been having a lot of fun. So we are doing story 8 and 9. These are stories, not things that happen on this day. This first one is actually a foundation page that I made for last year's October daily that I never did get to. So I figured let's use it. It was a cut file that I just got a free PNG off of the internet. I probably can link it below, or if you're interested in it, I can send it to you. I might not be able to link it because I don't know where the link is anymore, but we'll see. And all about how we love candy corn. I know it's crazy, but this household, we literally have went through a 4-pound bag already. It's horrible between 3 people because my husband doesn't eat it. My kids are obsessed with it. So, and then the day 9 that I was just talking about is going to be a story about my son's Halloween socks. He loves character socks and big high socks. And so I found some Halloween socks that have Freddy Krueger and clowns and all that kind of stuff on them, and he is loving them. So, all right. So what I just showed you there is the background is going to be Tracy Reed's October Moon Kit. I think is that one's from. The only thing that I didn't love about this is that, again, I made the candy corn piece last year, and then I'm using it this year. I could have went with the solid color, but then I thought that the solid color didn't go well with the 2 other solid colors. So I know it's a lot of dots and stars, but it's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. So it's a white piece of paper pretty much. You couldn't get away from that. And I thought it was cute when I did it. And this was supposed to be a solid thing that just sat into my album, not a pocket. So anyways, I felt like this circle piece that said this was all really inspired by that circle piece and these puffy stickers. Sabrina Poole sent these to me probably 2 years ago, and I still haven't used them, and I loved them and wanted them, and then I couldn't ever find the perfect project to use them for. So here it is. But yeah, so we're just going to use that circle piece and write "We love candy corn" around it. I don't have journaling ready for this. I didn't get it ready in time for the live. It is what it is. I can add the journaling later when I'm printing out more journaling on that Mako paper. It's usually easier to batch do it anyways. So, all right, so we're going to create a pocket with vellum and pulling out the sewing machine for the first time. This project pretty much. I don't pull it out tons except for December daily, and I told myself we're going to be pulling it out more. And honestly, the videos that Allie put up last night right after this live pretty much inspired me so much more to pull out this sewing machine. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that at this point. I was struggling. I was talking about that in my live with this Halloween kit. I never struggle with Allie's kits, and for some reason this Halloween kit I am just struggling, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the cream colors and not that it's white and black. It's cream and grayish, so I don't know if it's that or not. But watching her videos yesterday gave me a lot of how to use the embellishments more, and I don't know, just maybe got me to see the kit in a different way. So all right, so we're going to put together this cut file, I guess you want to call it. It's a bunch of pictures, and I'm looking for my hole punch right now, and I don't know why I didn't edit this part out. Sorry. Give me a chance to catch up. Anyways, looking for that hole punch right there so that I can put a brad so these can swivel. I also need to add a picture of my oldest. I only had a picture of my youngest with the candy corn, mainly because I was doing another project where I needed these pictures, and he was with me when I bought the candy corn and was all excited that I got a 4-pound bag of it instead of teeny tiny bags, he says. So I am just backing that cut file because it was ugly on that side, of course. And then I pretty much just used the pattern and in Photoshop and sized my pictures to those and used clipping mask. So as you can see, that was my little list. It was me holding candy corn, him holding candy corn, and then I will have my oldest showing his expressions for candy corn. And then I took to the main part of this, and I couldn't figure out if I wanted to add the candy corn on the vellum pocket and the 8 up top, or vice versa, pretty much. We decided to add that big 8 on the vellum pocket in the live. Sometimes it is amazing to have people there to help you with these crazy decisions that you're just like not sure. There we go. There's the pictures, and then my oldest will go on that back, and journaling will go on the back too. So yeah, the top of this kind of camouflages in a little bit. I'm not worried about it, guys. I like the cleanness of it pretty much. So I had a couple of 8s, and I was like trying to figure it out. I was going to emboss that 8 black and put it up there so that we could put the candy corn down below. This was like my go back and forth. Like, I kind of loved the candy corn on the bottom. You could kind of see it more. It didn't blend in as much up there, but all in all, I loved the big 8 instead. So we took it up top. Yep, we liked that way better. It took me forever to get the plastic piece off. I need to go back to the 4 because that 4 on there probably does have plastic piece on it. But again, this one you could actually see the plastic piece. There was like it was like folded pretty much. So again, this is something I probably should have edited out. Sorry, guys. I move forward. I end up just using my tiny attacher to connect those. And calling that good. And then we needed to go back and forth. I thought maybe using this punch and backing it would help the candy corn stick out. Then I used orange. Then also, I think Tori had the suggestion of putting another piece of vellum back there. The other piece of vellum didn't make that big of a difference, unfortunately. I thought that was a good idea. Yeah, I definitely didn't like that, though. It was either going to be white or nothing, and I think I just decided on nothing. Even though now that I look at it, I probably could have put the white back there and liked it a little bit more. I don't know. And then we had to decide between these ones or the square ones, and we definitely decided on the puffy hearts. I need to use those puffy hearts anyways. So I didn't like the squareness with the circle. Here we are sitting and making decisions. That was the biggest part of this. I knew what the design was. I just had to make some decisions. So, see, yeah, that candy corn kind of disappears a little bit, and I probably should have kept the white behind it, but it is what it is. I was even trying to look at the camera above to see what one looked better, and it still didn't. Here we go again, trying to get that plastic off. Finally got it. Oh, here she is making the suggestion of vellum. I was like, oh, let's try it. See, it like barely makes a difference. So we were like, yep, no, scrap that. And I had already stapled down the candy corn. So it was like, yeah, it's not worth pulling it back up for that. So should have used the white though. I will say that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? I do end up later stapling the 8 down a little bit further because it was a little unstable. All right, and then I am just putting a love in the puffy stickers around this title. I'm just putting it on the plastic part right now because I knew it was going to take a minute to try and like get it perfect like around it. Yep, I was like, oh, we need to go down just a smidge more. And then I start really pushing them down and making sure they're going to stick. Because as you see, they don't stick the best. I probably could have used a little bit of glue. We'll kind of watch it and make sure that they are not going to fall off. All right, so seeing now, though, that what Allie was doing yesterday, I probably would have used my sewing machine to sew down the candy corn because I liked that, how she was doing that. But you know what? We'll go through and do that later. I did, as much as hers isn't an album like an October Daily, I definitely got a few things of inspiration from her. So it's always good to like watch, especially the creator of the kit, use the kit like in the way that it was intended, I guess. I mean, at some points, like, yes, you want your own perspective of it, but also it's good to see when what the kit is actually used for. Just a few phrase stickers. I put sweet tooth on that one because that kid has a sweet tooth for days. And candy is dandy. And I think the first one was Halloween candy, it just said, or something like that. All about candy, it said. So, and then I did remember last minute that this L Studio sticker sheet that I'm trying to get rid of had a bunch of these little tiny candy corns. And I was like, oh, that would be cute to kind of put through the 8. So we did that. And we are done. Moving on. I was so excited. I was like, yes. I kind of did hit a little bit of a crafter's block. For some reason, I couldn't get pages to come together in my head last week. I was pretty busy last week with my photography business, so and just things in general, life in general. So I'm feeling it again and have a few ideas already sketched out for other days. Excuse me, and we're getting back to it. We're gonna get back to it. All right, so like I said, this is going to be more of a grid. Again, sometimes when I am struggling, I just come back to grids. It makes it easy. It makes it pleasing to the eye, all that good stuff. So the main paper is Allie Edwards. The orange paper is actually from Echo Park digital kit that I purchased Halloween Party, I think it was. Yeah, Halloween Party. And I felt like I needed more background papers. I didn't feel like Allie's kits came with enough for me. And so I definitely need to do that. Now, I need to go back and see if I have the black and white kit, because she used the black and white kit a lot in because as we all know, that would be like her style. And so that it would match this kit better than Echo Park stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I need to go back and see if I have the black and white kit. I don't remember if I purchased that one or not. All right, so just putting these down, that top right corner is going to be just for embellishments and to put my number on. The embellishments is definitely where I was not completely sold. Putting all those 8s back, getting out my 9s. I did find the link to this. So I did put it in one of my other videos, and I will continue to put it in videos from here on out for you guys. It's still the same price. I think it's like $17 or something off of Amazon. It's perfect because it holds the big numbers and the small numbers and all the numbers in between. The only thing I would say, which is probably going to be just about any container like this, is like the vellum ones slip in between them sometimes. Not all of the time, but sometimes. So. All right, so here I am. I did leave this in here just to show you, like, if your embellishment clusters aren't coming together either, like, sometimes it just, like, sometimes, I don't know, like, I feel like for some people they just come together, and for others and sometimes they just don't. I don't know. I was thinking about putting that on there, but I'm like, no, I only have that much left of it, and I'm being really stingy with it. But I do feel like I need to get some texture and stuff going through this. My album up until this point, until I put this candy corn page in, was extremely thin. And I'm like, I can start bulking this up a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe the next one will. My pictures are, I know the big squares are 2.5 by 2.5. The pictures I think are like 2.25 by 2.25. I almost glued the wrong side of the paper, guys. I was talking too much. Here I am. I think I get my head in the way, guys. I'm sorry if I do. Yep. I was trying to line that up. The first one is always the one that needs to be lined up the most, and then we can go from there. Yeah, so these are like the Scream ones. I think like Edward Scissorhands and then Freddy Krueger. I can't remember what he said. Now, so if you noticed, my 8 is going to go, it's not going to be the opposite of this page. So I'm going to have a filler page, or I think either I'm going to make it a filler page or I'm going to go, he told me that I didn't take pictures of his favorite ones. So when he gets those back out of the laundry, I think I will take a picture of his favorite ones and put it opposite on the back of 8. But I wanted this one to be a 6x8, so I just was like, no, we're just going to do it. Yeah. Oh, Teresa popped in and I had already put this one away, so I was like, here you go. You can see what we've already done. I'm not a super fan of these long ones for tags, and but I wanted it to go the span. I didn't want to cut it down. So what I did is cut the hole off of it, and you'll see where I come in and put like little enamel dots on each side to cover that up. So, but I used that big tag, and then I thought it was cool that you could see the moon through with the bats still. So I was like, yes, that's perfect. Put the 9 down there, and I'm like, there we go. I'm done. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And left it just like that. Here I am. I'm going to start like going through some things. But, oh, I also at that point in time realized, oh crap, you were supposed to leave one of these for a flip up to hide some journaling. And this is the part where I was explaining in the video, like, this is the hard part about digital. So if you don't do something on your computer and don't print it out, then you don't have it once you get to your project and something like this. Now, normally, if I'm not recording or I'm not alive, I could have just stopped and printed another orange square out, because I would have, like, I think Pam mentioned it. She's like, just do another orange square. And I'm like, yeah, I wish. I don't have it printed out. And this was a paper pack that I had just gotten that day, I think. And so I hadn't had time to print out even any extras at this point. So I was like, well, I'm just going to put the white down. At one time I was going to be like, oh, I'm just going to put the transparency on the paper. But I'm like, yeah, I don't think that it will show up that well. So I put white down. This could all get ripped up eventually when I go to put my journaling down. But this was my solution. Because I don't think I love it. But, oops, excuse me, sorry. Talking with my hands a ton. I think I'm just, this is the point where I'm contemplating life with this flip up and all that kind of stuff. So this really threw me for a loop for a minute, but I ended up being like, just put it down. It's no big deal. And I am going to just use my X-Acto knife to cut a flap and use printer paper to, I was like, seeing this is the only orange I have right now. Like, I just don't have oranges that match. And use printer paper to do a flip out. And it comes together well. The last thing that I had to figure out was my title. That part I hadn't thought ahead of schedule. I know that people that do lives really do have everything like planned out to the T. I didn't so much. Sometimes I have a lot of it planned out, and then I just leave some things that aren't planned out, and that was one of them this time. All right, so here I am creating this flip out. And since I've already used that story paper, it served its purpose. I use it as scrap paper now. I couldn't find a ruler for the life of me. I have no idea why. So we use other things. Tips and tricks on how to do this with a straight line. I know a lot of people are like terrified of their X-Acto knives, or they don't get straight lines. I just do it nice and soft. I'm not pushing super hard. I'm not going super fast either. It may have looked like it because obviously this is 2.5 speed, but I'm not. I'm going pretty slow and pretty soft, and I just make multiple lines so that it eventually cuts through it, and we don't have to worry about it. Something was on my mat and got on that. All right, we're going to start putting embellishments down and finishing up this part of the page. I don't know why I didn't just use my tiny attacher for that. I'll never know why, but whatever. I just put a little bit of glue behind those bats. Of course, I couldn't have done that if I used the tiny attacher, right? Barely Arts glue, of course, always Barely Arts glue. I've been using the crap out of this glue, and I still have barely gotten through a fourth of it, guys. So this stuff, and I only have the 2-ounce bottle. I don't even have the big bottle. I'll probably get the big bottle next and then have it for 5 years. Here I am, like I mentioned before, just cutting off that end. I just didn't like it, but I wanted the length of it because I have thought about cutting them kind of like Allie did in her spreads a lot in her videos. If you haven't watched her videos about her Halloween throughout the years, go do that. I think I might do that with Christmas. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that with Christmas and with Halloween eventually, because I'm not going to go back and do an October daily for days that, for months and all that kind of stuff. So maybe eventually I'm going to do that too. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we did pick the medium Jane, mainly because I didn't have to fussy cut it out because I have the dyes for that. And Sunset, the orange is Sunset by Close to My Heart. That was the one. As you can see, I had color matched a few of them to my page, as you can see. And Sunset won. I was also explaining how a lot of the times you do need to let these inks kind of melt into that paper a little bit, because like that first one, I used that spice marmalade on the mug page, and it is a completely different yellow or orange now than what it started out to be. It actually matches the page a little bit better. Honestly, it turned into just like this very light, chalky orange, pinkish almost. I don't know how to explain it. But it was a very different color than when I stamped it. So, all right, those are done. We have die cut those out with the magic of video. I have pretty much figured out that this was not straight at all. Don't know what I was doing, so I'm tearing that apart as much as I possibly can to try and bring that down. I'm like, what was I thinking? And I pretty wanted my title to be Halloween Socks, with the socks overlapping Halloween. So we're going to put all these down, and miraculously they go down pretty straight, which is kind of crazy to me. I'm doing things kind of straight lately. I'm like, oh, why did I do that to the H? I can't start with the H. You got to start with the O. I had to make sure the socks was going to overlap, but sit on top of that banner also. And then we go from there. And I'm like, I should have just laid this all out before. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching all of my videos. I am just loving the response and comments that you guys leave. It's so amazing that everybody leaves such sweet comments, and even when I'm not absolutely loving my pages, you guys are inspiration to keep on going. Last week, like I said, I fell into a little bit of a slump. I think we all do sometimes. I also talked about how great it feels to be finishing this album and getting through it, because in the last couple of months I've started and stopped projects so much and not finished them. And I was getting a little bogged down by how many projects I have, I guess. And having the feeling that I am going to finish this one is quite a good feeling. So I think getting through this and finishing this one and finishing hopefully December daily, hopefully, will be a great way to jump back into maybe finishing up some other albums this winter before summer hits again, right? Because that's when all hell breaks loose again in summer. All right, and then socks, but that is going to finish it up, guys. That is pretty much everything. I don't even embellish the pictures I was going to, and then I was like, yeah, no, we're going to just leave it right there. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you have gotten to this point, I would love if you would put, let's see, I doubt there's a socks emoji. Let's put a scary face or the wow face or like the scared face emoji in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.